Please subscribe to my channel and do hit the bell icon. Hello to all dear students. In this video, we'll be discussing about pharmacokinetic changes that takes place in hepatic diseases. Pharmacokinetics of many drugs are altered in hepatic diseases, and the extent of alteration mainly depends upon the elimination pathway of the drug and the severity of the hepatic disease. So therefore, awareness of the disease is very much important. There is a relationship between the type of liver disease and the pharmacokinetic changes of drugs. Like in acute viral hepatitis, it has very little effect on drug clearance, whereas in case of chronic hepatitis, obviously it will have a huge effect on the drug clearance. Effects on drug pharmacokinetics depending upon degree of disease severity. For example, degree of cirrhosis. Like if cirrhosis is mild, then drug clearance is less affected. But in case of severe cirrhosis, it will very severely reduce the drug clearance. It also depends upon the extraction ratio of the drug by the liver. Next, we shall see certain pharmacokinetic processes affected in hepatic disease. So, processes such as absorption, distribution profile, elimination profile, metabolism profile, and lastly effect of portal hypertension and cirrhosis on drug metabolism. All these things we'll see like how these processes will be affected in hepatic disease. So first, starting with absorption. In liver disease, the bioavailability is very much altered. Now with absorption, absorption means, suppose this is your gastrointestinal tract, this is liver, this is general circulation, and this is the hepatic portal venous system. Any drug, whenever it is taken via oral route, firstly it will go to the liver via the portal venous system. Next, in the liver, majority of the metabolism takes place. That is, first pass metabolism will be taking place, where majority of the drug will be metabolized, and whatever unmetabolized or active drug is left, it will moving to the general circulation for distribution. Now, suppose bioavailability is 20%. Bioavailability 20% means, suppose you took any drug A, that is 100 mg, then 80%, that is 80 mg of this drug will undergo first pass metabolism, and just 20%, that is 20 mg is available for distribution. So that is known as 20% bioavailability, and this thing happens whenever that drug is given via the oral route. Okay, and same drug, that 100 mg of drug, that drug is taken via intravenous route, then in that case we need to reduce the dose of the drug, that is up to 20 mg, because majority of the drug is metabolized in the liver by first pass metabolism. One of the reason of low bioavailability is high first pass metabolism. So any drug that has got a high first pass metabolism will have a reduced bioavailability. Next, we'll check out the clinical application. Oral dose need to be decreased in severe hepatic disease because there will be decrease in first pass extraction, thereby increases the bioavailability. Since in hepatic disease, liver will be failing to perform its normal first pass metabolism, and in such case, if we give a usual dose of the drug, then it may lead to drug toxicities. So therefore, any drug that has high first pass metabolism, if given to a patient with liver disease, then the dose of such a drug should be reduced. Next, in cholestasis means it is a condition where there is a problem in synthesis and secretion of bile from the liver. So in cholestasis, bioavailability of lipophilic drugs will be decreased. An example is cyclosporine. See, mainly the lipophilic drugs, they are, first of all, they are metabolized in the liver, and after undergoing metabolism they are excreted out. But if the drug is hydrophilic in nature, then a hydrophilic drug will undergo negligible metabolism, and very freely in unchanged form it will be excreted out from our body. So the main role of liver is to convert lipophilic drug into hydrophilic drug. Okay, so this is the main work of the liver. And in liver disease we know that liver is not functioning well, so liver will be failing to convert lipophilic drug into hydrophilic, as a result of which the bioavailability of lipophilic drug is greatly increased. Next, we'll check out the distribution profile. Distribution mainly depends upon individual drugs' plasma protein binding, tissue binding, and lipid solubility. Now suppose these are plasma protein like albumin. Albumin is a kind of plasma protein, and albumins are mainly synthesized from the liver. Okay, so suppose this is albumin, and most of the drugs binds to this plasma protein. So whenever a drug binds to a plasma protein, such a drug is known as bound drug, and the unbound drug is also known as the free drugs. And this is the free drug which is mainly responsible for production of pharmacological action. But suppose what happens when the number of these plasma protein is reduced, then what will happen? The number of free drugs will be more in number, so it can result in increased drug action and drug effect. Okay, and why there is a reduced number of plasma protein like albumin? Yes, whenever there is a liver disease, the liver will be failing to produce albumin, because of which the plasma protein, that is albumin, level is reduced, and therefore a huge amount of drug is available in free form, leading to increased drug action and drug effect. Next, we shall check out about the elimination profile. Actually, elimination of drugs mainly depends on renal excretion. Therefore, renal function mainly determines. Provided a drug is less lipophilic, or if the drug is lipophilic, means obviously it is converted into hydrophilic and then excreted via the renal route. But for drugs which are mainly metabolized by liver, hepatic function is important for their clearance, and obviously this is for a highly lipophilic drug. Next, what is hepatic clearance? We know hepatic clearance means, it may be defined as volume of the blood that perfuses the liver that is cleared of drug per unit. It is also defined as the product of blood flow and extraction ratio. Now ER is extraction ratio. Extraction ratio means it provides a direct measure of drug removal from the liver after oral administration of the drug. It is given by the equation extraction ratio equals to C in minus C out divided by C in. Now this C in is the concentration of drug in the blood that is entering the liver. C out is the drug concentration in the blood that is leaving the liver. Okay. Now we'll have an example like 100 minus 20 divided by 100. See, usually the C in, it is usually greater than C out. Okay. So 100 minus 20 divided by 100. So we'll get a value of 80%, or you can say 0.1. Always the value of extraction ratio should be always less than 1. Next, a relationship between extraction ratio and bioavailability enables a rough estimation of liver extraction. Like F is the fraction of bioavailable drug, is equals to 1 minus extraction ratio. Okay, so bioavailability will get when we subtract 1 minus the extraction ratio. Okay, and whatever result we get, it is the fraction of the drug which is removed by a non-hepatic process. Now we'll check out the clinical application of this thing. For high extraction ratio, when means for a drug like when extraction ratio is more than 70%, An example is morphine, whose extraction ratio is 0.7 or you can say 70%. It is a drug which is mainly eliminated by liver when it is given orally. It delivers first to liver, can phase with first pass metabolism. Its bioavailability will be 1 minus ER, that is 0.3 or 30%. So whatever left is eliminated via non-hepatic route. Means to the maximum, this drug removal mainly depends upon the biotransformation inside the liver. In severe cirrhosis, now suppose this is your liver and this liver is weeping because it is a diseased liver. This is your gastrointestinal tract. This is the hepatic portal venous system, and this is your general circulation. As such, whatever drug you are taking via the oral route, these drugs as such they pass via the portal venous system and move into the liver where these drugs get metabolized. But since this liver is not functioning well, so there will be reduction in the metabolism, and in addition to this there is a presence of portosystemic shunt. Okay, so what is this portosystemic shunt means? There is an abnormal connection between the portal vascular system and the systemic circulation. So therefore these drugs that should move to the liver, now they are moving via this shunt, they are drained into the systemic circulation directly. Okay, so this means that bioavailability is 100%. Since there is no first pass metabolism, no drug is moving to the liver, the first pass metabolism is bypassed. Okay, now liver disease can change the extraction ratio. There will be clinically significant change on bioavailability of high ER drugs that is having high extraction ratio, and this can lead to adverse effects. Next we'll check out regarding the biliary secretion. Now suppose this is your liver, and inside the liver there will be synthesis and secretion of bile which is obviously flowing down. So in cholestasis what happens, the bile flow will be greatly reduced, and whatever bile is getting accumulated in the liver, it will cause injury to the hepatocytes. Next, in advanced cases of biliary cirrhosis, there is reduction in the intrinsic clearance activity of liver. If bile flow is disturbed, there will be disturbance of enterohepatic circulation, which is useful for action of certain drugs. Next, we shall check out regarding the metabolism profile. We know we have got two phases of metabolism, that is phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is the functionalization phase, and phase 2 where conjugation reactions will be taking place. Phase 2 is a true detoxification pathway resulting in water soluble products that are easily excreted out. Now cytochrome P450, this enzyme plays a major role in drug metabolism. In that, CYP3A4 is the most important one. Clinical significance: CYP3A4 is the most important CYP enzyme which is involved in 50% of metabolism of the drugs that are used currently. There is strong correlation between CYP score and extent of hepatic metabolism. In cirrhosis, CYP level can be reduced. Okay. Lastly, we'll check out effect of portal hypertension and cirrhosis on drug metabolism. Suppose when formation of portosystemic anastomosis, that is presence of shunts occur, this along with reduced hepatic metabolism, it causes there will be greatly increases and the oral bioavailability of drugs that undergo extensive first pass metabolism. For example, there is a twofold increase in bioavailability of propranolol in cirrhosis as compared to a normal condition whenever the liver is functioning all right. Next, lastly, we'll talk about the conclusion. It is difficult to come up with definite dosage guidelines. Routine liver function tests are not a good complete guide. CP score is a useful guide for determining the prognosis in collapse cases. CP score means it is a Child-Pugh score which is used to assess the severity of and prognosis of chronic liver disease and cirrhosis. So, but it's useful in predicting drug doses in less clear. Precise dose determination in liver disease is to be based on drug to drug basis and background of the diseased state. Okay, so this was all about the video regarding the pharmacokinetic changes that takes place in hepatic disease. In the next video we shall discuss about the dosage consideration in hepatic disease. I hope you people found this video helpful. Thank you for watching.